This seems to be hollow. This one working.
Correct.
Lightweight trans.
It is. It's perfect for fitting. So I got the mechanical tests. I got the mechanical operation, mechanical test spec sheets, and I was sure there was a line pressure port. So you're just here, in a lovely spot, as you can see, directly underneath
Speed sensor.
the speed sensor. So they've actually got a factory. They've got this little adapter that comes out, showing the spec sheets, that allows it to come out, so you can measure your line pressure and accumulator back pressure. But of course, see this one, if it had a cable, which isn't a bloody kick down cable, so line pressure is mechanically up and electronically down. Whereas on a A340, it's electronically up and electronically downed. More solenoids. There's no way we can just put a sensor in there. We've got a dipstick in the way too. And it's a weird thread. Over by the laptop there, there's it's 8x1. Cold start injector?
Nope.
Nope. And then there's 8125.
That ain't even the same thread.
No. So I don't know what thread that is either. But it may be possible for us to have an adapter, like they do in the proper test, to put a line pressure sensor in at some point, and then we forego fuel pressure. Fuel temperature. I've used all my AVIs.
You want a rotor dial?
Well, I either do a power economy switch, which would give me two settings, an on and off, so a drag mode and a street mode, or I do a 12 position.
Drag mode when you go down Queen Street.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
That was uncle.
if I put a 12 position rotary switch in, I've got as many tunes as we want. So we can set up some multiple positions to work out. I can just bang a whole lot of different position changes in it, and then we can go through and see which ones suit and adapt from there. It'll make the tuning process quicker. We'll just go, what's dial 1, dial 2, dial 3.
Cool. It was a turbocharged car or something.
Well, we can change boost levels too if it was turbocharged. I can do lots of things with a rotary knob.
No, it's not.
But I just want to focus on getting that transmission working. And I maybe have to up the rev limit.
Oh, so you're trying to use the rotary knob to tune the transmission?
So I'm doing the rotary knob to give us multiple tuning maps for the transmission, and then different rev limits and all that stuff. I can do lots of stuff with it. So instead of having like a power economy switch, we have a rotary knob.
So ringing CSL against some camshafts too.
That wasn't in the budget. But you know, we have then we've got, you know, street mode, wet is number 1.
Yep.
So it's like snow mode. And then 2 could be street mode, normal driving. And then you could go like sport mode on 3. And then you could go like wet drags on 4.
Yep, drag.
Drag, dry, and whatever else. So it kind of makes sense to do the rotary knob because it gives us lots of tuning ability in different setups. Oh, I've got to check whether I can fit in a brake switch as well. I'm running out of AVIs because I put so much into it. And line pressure would be nice to have a line pressure sensor to actually be able to monitor it at some point. But like it's a day's work to get an adapter, work out threads, fit a sensor, and it's probably because it's all roundy down in here too.
Yeah.
To make something that actually works. So if I run some wires in when I do the wiring, drop like 3 wires down here for spare, that we can connect up later on, if we ever get round to putting it in. They'll run fine with no line pressure control. Just leave full line pressure.
Isn't that how Joe Sprint is?
Just full line pressure. Yeah, well, lots of them just run full line pressure, so we can just max line pressure all the time. But it'd be nice on street mode to have that map in, the line pressure map, to drop a little line pressure off it when it shifts.
Smooth it up a bit.
Yeah. Drag mode, have full line pressure. Again, rotary knob. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop.
Take fuel temp out of it then. And we don't need, it's not turbocharged, it doesn't need to be fuel temp.
Yeah, it's just a nicety. But yeah, we don't get fuel temp, we don't get fuel temp.
Just leave the fuel temp out of it then.
Yeah.
Because fuel pressure is more important than the temp.
Absolutely.
If it was a turbocharged car, I'd say probably leave the fuel temp into it because that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's got a big fuck off two grunty pumps in it that are circulator shits on a fuel around.
No.
It's just got one little pump.
Correct.
Little V8 thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I think I actually need to go back, and now I've got some numbers to work with, and I think I've done all the planning that we need to plan. Actually build a map before I start wiring.
You used up everything in there.
I've used up everything in a 2500.
Use it all.
Well, that's what it's there for. Use it all.
You managed.
I've got a couple of outputs left. Zephyr motor outputs.
Have you managed to max out a Thunder yet?
Not quite, but they've got 16 outputs and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got more because I've got an extra 2 plugs over the 2500.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get you a Nexus thing.
Yeah. This needs to go. So we're planning on getting rid of that completely. That's going in the bin. Old Yellow's getting wired with the wiring loom to go on there. I've planned on oil temps and oil and fuel pressures and fuel temps, which we were just discussing. So we've actually already put the sensor in. We can change if necessary. We've got the 440cc, 450cc injectors in there. I've actually got some slightly smaller. I've got some 360s, which was my ideal choice. So they are going to be going in this. I've done some planning in here, and there's a little resistor just there, which goes into the box for the speedo. Hello, Poppy. Hello, miss. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello. Good girl. Good girl. Out of the car. Good girl. Go see Jace. So there's the wiring for that, the power and an earth and the signal. In factory it came up to the speed output from the Crown ECU, so that's kind of, we've worked that out. It's in my head. You'll see here, no overdrive switch, no power economy, so it was actually in normal cruise mode all the time. Was never put into power mode. And the wideband is going to be mounted under the seat. And I've just coming up with a good plan for the whole job. With this job, there's a lot of planning, because when you start pulling the wires, you want to make sure that all the wires that are in there need to be in there, and that everything's going to work that you want to make work. I actually had a chat with Haltech. I've had a couple of chats. Got very helpful man yesterday. And I got a proper base map for an A340, which is really similar. The shift logic is the same. A lot of the functions are the same. The main difference is the line pressure changes between the A341 and the A340. So no big deal there. I'm confident I can make everything work like it's meant to work. I've gone through the software. And I'm just going to sit down now and actually physically write the tune for this job and set up the ECU. And I'm doing this before I pull the wiring, okay? I've got a pretty good idea in my head. I'll turn the cell phone off because I don't want interruptions. And we'll just hammer out some wiring. Jason's over here wiring a link. How do you think the Haltech's going to differ to the link?
Well, we're comparing the link I'm wiring to the Haltech you're wiring?
Yeah, you're doing a basic link.
Well, it doesn't compare, does it?
Yeah, it does. It's just the same.
It's not the same.
But different.
It's not the same. That computer has far more. That computer you've got is far superior in outputs and stuff to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Guess
okay,
what?
then.
It'll still run the motor.
Exactly. Exactly. So what he's talking about is we've chosen a computer that will do the job based on our requirements and matched it to the budget somewhat. But buying a cheaper computer, like Jace's wiring, wouldn't have done the job I'm trying to do. The wiring process for us is pretty much the same, but different on all of them. Because Jace's wiring this one, it's just the same as the last one he wired, but there's changes because it's different, because everything that we do is custom to suit. Everything, and then some.
Best made this a little bit long.
Yeah, probably did make it a little bit long. Lucky you got scissors. I'm going to write a program, eh?
Go right program.
I've actually got the shift pattern, the factory shift pattern for an A341 from Toyota in my information I've got, which has actually got the gear changes, and it doesn't have it changing at 400 kilometers per hour like I did in my setup the other day. So
You mean change back to second or 40 kilometers an hour?
yeah.
Yeah.
So in D range, kick down foot switch is on or off, which this one doesn't have a kick down switch. It's all through the TPS on this one. And then it's got the speeds at which it goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to overdrive, and then back as well, changing back down. So I've actually got the factory listed schedule. How's that for having some good knowledge, good info? So I should be able to sort of replicate that with the Haltech